think it's time to start the stream. Couldn't be here this morning, but I wanted to make sure I was here for everybody right now. We got 17 people in the room. I want to see everybody throw their favorite emojis in chat if you are a member. We got a lot of new emojis we added in the last couple days. Big shout out to everybody. If you're not a member yet, throw your other favorite emoji. Anybody just interact with the stream. Are you bearish? Do you think we're going down further? Do you think we're going higher? Let's get this stream started. We're gonna get started in about 1 minute. Every single one of you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, ding the bell. We're gonna be getting going here in just a moment. Throw a 1 in chat if the audio's good. I'm at my home setup right now in my guest room where my cousin has everything set up. So there's a little bit of a mess, but wanna make sure it's all good and we're gonna get this going. What's up, everybody? How you doing? Good afternoon, good night. I don't think it's morning anywhere unless you're over there in Tokyo, and it is 5 a.m. Big shout out to everybody that's here. My name's Kellam. Welcome to the show. We're doing an afternoon stream. We're going to be doing a lot more of these afternoon streams because we're going to add trading to the mix. I do a lot of TA on here. I break down the charts for all of you and see what's going on. We talk news, but we got to add that trading element because I want to do this with you. We're going to take a portfolio of $5,000. We are going to trade that portfolio. We're going to try and take it up to 50 grand and then up to 100 grand. Perfect time in the market right now, leading into one of the most bullish, risk-adjusted times in history of Bitcoin. So shout out to everybody here. Special shout out to the chat right now. And special shout out to each and every one of you that's a member that has one of those beakers next to your name. Just so you know, in a little about a month, whenever you join, after a month, you get your beaker fills up a little bit, and at the next month or two, then your beaker fills up more. So as you progress, you're going to get different badges along next to your name. So shout out to each and every one of you here. Thank you to all the members that are involved. Make sure you check the member section. I'm going to be dropping charts in there from our premium Discord and also some other things on a regular basis. So how's everybody feeling? Kate Pulliam says, Kelly, if they sold those sweaters in black and orange, I'd be wearing one all the time. We do have one in black. I wear it on stream pretty regularly. It's under Hit Network. If you search, just when you go to the Hit Network or Hit Merch, I should say, hitmerch.com, I believe it is. If you search BitLab, it'll pull up all the different stuff. And we got a lot of new stuff coming. So shout out to that. We don't have a lot of time here. I want to get off by 5:45. So we can throw over to Frankie after that. But let's dive into the charts. If you haven't yet, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, ding the bell. And let's go ahead and dive into these charts. I posted that. What did I post? I posted, let's go to youtube.com, subscriptions, great. And I just want you to notice something. Look at this chart. I posted this chart about an hour before the market really started that push to the downside. How could I have known it was going to go down? You never know. You never know, but you can stack the probabilities in your favor. So, by the way, if you're watching from anywhere else, Hit Network or any of the other spot that this place is clipped, make sure you come over to youtube.com/@BitLab Academy. We've got a huge influx of new users over this last week or two. We had a great interview with the Rational Root on Saturday. I think that brought in a lot of new people. So welcome all the new guests. If you're new here, let us know you're new in the chat right now. And shout out to all the members in there sharing all those amazing emojis. We only need I think about 10 more members than the next emojis coming up. So shout out to everybody that's a member. Crimson Caravan, Theo Rodriguez, Alex Greed, Cade Pulliam, I say Crimson Caravan Company, Matt C, we got to get you a membership, baby. You're one of the longtime people here. Red Elephant, JF Space Native. We got so many members in here. Red Elephant, I already called you out. We got a lot of you in here. Let's go ahead and talk about what we want to talk about. Markets pulling back. How could I have known? Well, I outlined a little bit of it. Using the BitLab trading stack, we had this huge volume candle right here. This was back on November 8th. Huge volume, much smaller candle here. This was already a signal. When you see a huge expansion in bullish momentum and then much smaller expansion, that means the tides may not be continuing to move that direction. And then we got stopping volume right here. Not only do we get stopping volume, how do I know that? This candle is yellow. The BitLab intelligence, this indicator right here, populates the colors of the candles based on some of the underlying information that we need to be paying attention to. So a lot of buying volume, good, but also the size of this candle is smaller. So even without the indicators, you could know just by the size of the candle. Signal, something's changing here. But then not only that, this next candle, look how big this wick is, upside and downside, massive spinning top, huge bullish push to the upside. Couldn't sustain. Bears bring it back down. Bears try to take it down. Bulls bring it back up. This shows this is very bullish narrative. This is very indifferent. That's a change in narrative. In addition to that, there's stopping volume. There you go. Yellow candle, stopping volume on this. Now we got a little bit of a false push up here. Excuse me, a bull trap. And then what do we get? Lower high. And what is this? We lose this trend signal line. We're looking at the 6 hours, losing the trend signal line here. Price action comes down, finds support, loses it, comes back up, tests this, rejects off of it, loses the weekly VWAP right here, and ultimately rejects again, just pushing that narrative to the downside. In addition to all this, look at this right here on the BitLab Trend Fuel. Massive bearish divergence. Some of these auto-populate when they're very large, some of them don't. This one's populating. It's telling you the momentum is not agreeing with what's happening here. See these higher high? On the momentum, we have a higher high and a lower high. The highs are going in different direction, meaning the underlying data is not pushing in the same direction that the price is trying to move. So in this case, what we get? It was about, today's the 13th, 14th. So it's somewhere about right here before this breakdown that we talked about the price moving down. Now, do I think it's going to go down further? We'll have to see. We're looking here at the 6 hour. Let's look at the 1 hour. Let's see what's going on here. We can delete this now that we've already called this out. Boom, boom, boom. And look at this. On the 1 hour, we had two bearish divergences right here. Demand index and Chaikin money flow. Both bearish divergences, and then two more bearish divergences right here. Money flow and stochastics. Price moves down. So it wasn't just the candles on the chart, but it's also the underlying data signals suggesting weakness. Now, what we get? Huge move to the downside. On the 1 hour chart, we can see this purple candle. What is this? It's the opposite of these teal candles. This is a lot of volume coming in, selling pressure. We see this, a lot of volume coming in, and then we get that stopping volume. Does that mean it's not going to continue at all going down? It means no. It means this initial move may have at least at minimum a little bit of a retrace. What we get? A little bit of a retrace. If we cannot break through this dynamic resistance zone, right? Let me move this up just a little bit. This dynamic resistance zone right in here, this area between the 20 and the area between the 50, basically the trigger and the trend signal line right here. That's what's making this dynamic resistance zone. And we're seeing bullish move into this. Currently, we have 50 minutes left. I mean, it's almost the full candle. So we'll have to see how this candle closes. If it closes anywhere in this shape like this is indicating weakness here, that this is going to come down and at least test this level, if not continue on further down. Why do we say that? Because in this case, on the 1 hour time frame, we have established that we are in a downtrend. Lost it, rejection, 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 rejection. And this right here, look at this. We have an M formation all the way down here. And then the break of this level and the price just falls out. The price was mapping out what was going to happen. Looking at the data on the chart, listening to the data on the chart, ignoring your bias. That's the hardest part. Those that can ignore their bias, or at least use it to adjust their risk mechanisms, those are the people that are going to make it in this market. So let's look at the 4 hour just in context. Now in this case, look at this, push up, pull back, and we have a bit of an, if we stretch this out, we have a bit of an M formation here. Top, pullback, top, breakdown, M formation. They're all going to look slightly different. You have to look at the context of the narrative. But this trend signal line right here, this is critical that we lose it and then use it as resistance. We had a fake, basically bull trap here, and then ultimately the price collapsed down. So let's look at this. Okay, stopping volume on the 4 hour as well. So we're seeing that the stochastics came quite low. The momentum's coming down with a lot of selling volume, which is what these red candles are here on the momentum on the BitLab trend fuel. But we're seeing, just in context, if I had to bet, a bit of a trick here with the price action coming somewhere in this region, if it does at all, and then more likely than not, a continuation down into this 34.3 to 34.5 region. That's what I'm seeing as the most likely. Now, if we find support here, which we very well may. Why? Because we see this area of all these tops right in here. See these? Rejection, rejection, all the chop in here. And this is essentially where the price, yeah, we had a wick down into this lows, basically the same lows, option J, basically the same lows as all of these right here, which this lows are also in line with some of these highs over here. And this is exactly where the price came down to. See this? Tapped right into it. So we're going to want to watch what happens here in the next, 3 to 5 hours to see if this is going to be a continuation down. But this area right here, two order blocks, not one, 2 order blocks. How do I know that? Because I can see this is lighter shaded here, and then it gets darker right here, because this is where the order block started. And then this is where a second one was printed. So we've got a lot of liquidity interest, which is a good thing for the bulls. We have a lot of liquidity interest right here in this 34,300. Sorry, my brain couldn't work there. I want to kind of switch charts here. There. Okay, now look at where we came up into 37.5. That was that area. And what does it correspond to over here? We talked about this. Previous lows of this range over here. Many times the price bounced there. Now, where we're at right now, come on, you can do it, baby. Where we're at right now, we rejected off that level, and we've had such a strong bullish initiative to the upside, momentum to the upside. And what we talk about, I talked about this as soon as this price action happened to the upside, everybody wanted it to be up here or beyond, 42,000, 45, 50, new all-time highs. And I said, as soon as this push happened, let's look back at the previous times that these pushes happened, and then the lack of follow through that could essentially happen in the same sort of frame rate of what we're seeing right now with Bitcoin. Another huge push, sideways action, fake out to the upside, and then ultimately the rejection to the downside. So do I think this is going to happen? I think more likely than not, I think we're going to have to see what happens right in this region, because all of this price action right here that we're basically bouncing on all this price narrative. If we're able to hold here and not have liquidity moves to the downside, maybe we bounce here and come up. But I think things are in favor of more likely than not coming down. Why? Let's look at the 3-day candle, 3-day chart. We tapped right up into this box we talked about. Great. Now, this is, remember, I put this like 3 months ago where I think price may be at the time of the halving. So we still have some time to get in there. The halving is right where this line is. But what am I seeing? 3-day chart. I see the stochastics, they're very high. I see the momentum has a triangle here. It's rolling over. I see a lot of bearishness on the dashboard here on BitLab Trend Fuel. Bearish VWAP, bearish stochastics, bearish, this is neutral, RSI neutral, this one as well. Both these ways, the money flow and the momentum wave, both in bearish postures. This is on the 3-day chart. Now we could stay up here for quite some time, but we see, look at this. Once this got up here, we had a hard time making any sort of sustained moves to the upside. And then ultimately this came down and reset. And once it reset, then the price could be moving up again. So as we stand right now, we've had all this bullishness to the upside, and we're finally getting very strong stopping volume on the 3-day chart. So I'm still looking for this target right here in the 31.6 sort of zone, 31.6 to $32,000. That's what I'm seeing as most likely. If we do push to the upside, we have a target up here, sure, but this is already somewhat invalidated because of the price action in here. But even if we were to call this a target, $42,000, we still have this zone right in here, this $38,000 up to 38.8, 38.6, 38.2 to 38.8 sort of zone, which is directly above us that we still need to contend with. I think things need to cool off a little bit. We get that news from XRP, that fake BlackRock spot ETF, news pumped and then brought it back down. In fact, let's look at XRP. Did anybody get caught in that trade? Did anybody lose out? Let me know. Let me kind of look over here. Let me pay attention to the chat. Shout out to all the members in the house. Drop your favorite emojis. Let's get these going. I like seeing the, I like the chicken head, and I like the lab rat is my favorites. But shout out to everybody here. We got 65 people in the house. Has each and every one of you, have you hit the like button? Ding, ding, ding. Do it. Get involved, baby. Wish I should, Alex said, I wish I had taken some profits. Well, let's go ahead and look at XR Pizzle. Where are we at? That's not what I want to look at. Where's XRP? Right under AVAX. There we go. All right. What do we get? Lower high. Let's look at this on the 2 hour. That was a 3-day chart. I want to just talk about this move right here. This is that fake news move right here, that wick. What am I talking about? What the hell are you talking about, Kelly? This line up here, that's not an inconsequential line. That's where price action had moved during this candle. Each candle is representative of the time frame you're looking at. In this case, you see right here, it says 2H, that's 2 hour. If I'm looking at the daily, then each candle is 1 day. If I'm looking at the 3 minute, then each candle is 3 minutes. Make sure, as basic as that sounds, know that. Know that each time you look at anybody's charts, yourself or a YouTube stream or anything, anytime you look at a chart, before you draw a conclusion, look up and to the left. What asset pairing and what time frame? This is a 3 minute. We can't do much analysis on the 3 minute. So let's go down to the 4 hour. And let's just look at this 4 hour, massive push during this 4 hour candle. Bulls shot this up. And in fact, we had all this volume and didn't really result in much. In fact, I have another chart. Where is it at? I have another chart. It's right here. Okay. This is a chart. I've had this chart drawn for a couple weeks. When this price was pushing up on XRP, we started forming a broadening wedge. What is a broadening wedge? Broadening wedge aimed up, which is this, aiming to the upside. See how this is aiming up, not down? Aiming up, broadening wedge, any pattern. A broadening wedge, a rising wedge, all these things angled and pointing to the upside tend to have a bearish breakdown. In this case, could you have seen it? But we had a little bit of a bullish pattern right here with this ascending triangle, but you could also consider this a bear flag. And not only that, you can also see the fact that you had a strong bullish impulse up here right to this projected trend line from this broadening wedge. But then also when the price action fell, on the retrace, this attempt back to the upside, much lower high there. So the bulls really attempting stuff here. Bulls getting really weak here. So I'm watching the break of this level right here. What do we get? The break of that level. Break of that level, retest, still can't do it, comes down. Even right here. Bull trap like I've ever seen. Right there. Really wish XRP was doing everything they said it was going to be. Been pretty disappointing by the price action. Tiggle biddies. XRP is still roiled in all this controversy and uncertainty about what is going to happen with all these cases. We cannot expect price action from any asset. We can only plan based on the data we're seeing. So even without understanding, even without trading that news and the breakout and all the stuff from the BlackRock fake news and all this kind of nonsense, if you're just looking at the chart by itself, this is bullish price action forming a bearish setup. This right here signaled us this was likely going to test this and break down. Why? Because this is sort of a lopsided M pattern, much lower low, much lower high here. And in fact, if we do option F, Fibonacci from the top to the bottom, look at that. Price action came up. Where did it reject? Right here in the golden pocket, 0.618, 0.65. C90 for the win says, I don't expect it, I demand it. That's right. We need to demand from ourselves, setting up our strategies so that we can win. So we see the Fibonacci right here told us likely area to watch for, that golden pocket. It got rejected. So on this lower high rejection, it was a fairly high likelihood that we are going to break this level. What we do, break the level, and then what happens? We get we get this impulse up, only to come right back down. And this mark, I've had drawn for a couple weeks as well. Why is this randomly, arbitrarily here? Let's go ahead and do this. Option H, let's just draw a line there. Now let's go ahead, go on the daily. Let's zoom out and see if that lines up with anything. Well, look at this right here with all this interaction of price action. And then right over here where this bounces and this kind of stops at and then falls from, we're seeing that this line has had some impact with price action in the past. We also bounced right here, a lot of price action right here. We're seeing some interaction with this price. That is why I had this, what seemed like arbitrarily right here. And this, you know, if you had a target for any short there, we would hit. And then look at this. I did not change anything on this chart. In fact, I'm just looking at it with you right now. I haven't been able to be in the charts most of the day, other than when I made the thumbnail for this at like 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock. We're seeing the price action came down. Look at this level. What level is this? Could we have known? Look at this level. Zooming out. Look, bounce, bounce, bounce. Rejection, 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 rejection. And look at where the price, I mean, almost to the dollar. I mean, let's zoom in. Let's take a victory lap here for the TA. Look at that trend line. If you map out the course, it's going to be much more likely that you stay in bounds, and in bounds means profitable, baby. Let me go ahead and go through the chat right now. I'm going to look through any of the members, all the people with the beaker next to their name. I'm going to look through, see if you guys have any good questions or any charts you want to see. Are there any charts you want to see? T Shroom's in the house. What up? How you doing, baby? I see we got Falco in the house. We got everybody in the house. Ninja Fourth, what's up? Okay, hi fam. I'm sort of here. Everybody's doing well. Big love to everybody. Look at the rockets in the chat. I'm loving each and every one of you. If you haven't yet, join the membership. The link is pinned up in the top of the live chat. Join us here. We're going to be doing a lot of stuff with the members in here, and the more members join also, we can add more emojis. Always makes it fun. Tia, impressively still running up. All right, Tia, I have not done any TA on Tia. TA on Tia. Let's look at Tia. I don't even know what this is going to look like. I know it had a pretty large pump, so let's go. I mean, this is hard to do TA on something like this. There's no data. There's no data. So what we have to do on this is go to a fairly small time frame and then just, I mean, we've got to be very careful about what we really want to say is going to happen here because, okay, here's what I'm seeing. Price action push up, sustained sort of rally. Where are we at? Sustained sort of a consistent rally to the upside here. We lose it. We come back right to this level. Where previous high? Bounce here. Now, the concerning thing here is this is a pretty large impulse. If I were to measure that, even in a very crude way, let's take this line. Let's move this. How is this looking so far? It's looking relatively weak. But this is a new coin, so there's going to be a lot more movement on it and a lot less energy needed to move it. Happy Sweet Tuesday, Ninja Force says. I'm loving all these emojis and the members here in the chat. Shout out everybody. So Tia, let's go ahead and look at this. And I really don't advise just blindly trading this kind of stuff. If you traded this breakout, how would you have known? How would you have known? Maybe you saw this, you didn't want to get in until there was a clear signal, or there's your signal right there. We have a bit of a trend line formed right here, and the price action pushes up against it, falls down, comes back. The break of this zone. Now, price action has been moving. Does this mean it's going to keep going? We can't even get much data on this. This is on the 8 hour. Let's go to the 24 minute. 24 minute. All right. Option V, option V, option V. Where am I drawing these? If you're looking at my chart, where am I drawing these? I'm watching for when these stochastics come down in reverse. And you see each time these stochastics come down in reverse, boom, that we're getting pretty large impulses to the upside. And we are setting up for a potential move. The question is going to be right here. Is this the time it flips bearish or does it continue bullish? If If the price action does pull back at all, what do we look for? We look for this level right here. We look to the charts to give us a story about where price may be going. Option J, that's a previous high region right there. That's what we're sitting on. If we lose this, this is sort of my line in the sand. This is my line in the sand right here for potential continued bullish movement. Why? Because this is where you're having all this period, all this price action right here that that suggests this could be a buffer zone of support if this does come down. Now, the concerning thing is this is a bit of an M formation. However, we do have an inverted head and shoulders right here. Has the conditions of that been met? Neckline. Let's go all the way to the head of the neckline. Let's go to the breakout. We can see that this is kind of already, for the most part, fulfilled this target. Okay? And we're seeing a little bit of bearishness here. If we cannot hold this, maybe this is set up for a continuation because we do have the stochastics quite low. But if we do start breaking down, if the market starts pulling back, if we start seeing some really, negative sort of narrative come into the market, then I'm watching this level right here, 537. And if we lose this level, then we're potentially in for a larger pullback. So be a little careful here. If this does continue up, let's go ahead and delete all these lines. How can we know with something, an asset that doesn't have any previous price history, how can we say where it's going to go? Let's go ahead and delete some of these lines, and we're going to measure right here, option F, from this thing right here all the way to the bottom. This is a fib retracement right here. 1, 2, 3 tools down on the left-hand bar. Click this little arrow, go to fib retracement right there. And what you do is you click at the top. Once it's open, you click at the bottom. And this draws out areas of price action that it may go to. You see, I have some fib extensions on mine, and this would suggest that the next level up, the 1.618 is $7. The 2.618 is up at $8.83. We are seeing things like this move. So just be prepared for both directions. Don't throw all your money into an asset because it's a hot new thing. In fact, I'm going to pull this up right now. I want you to notice something. I don't think I retweeted it, so I don't want to search for it. But there is a tweet that they did yesterday that is so good. Boom, 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 boom. This right here. No, that's not it. That's not what I want to show. There's another one. This is it. In a new groundbreaking study, Sentiment Feed put the top trending tokens. These are things that are hyping up, those really hyped tokens that people are talking about. It could be TIA, could be Grok, could be Pepe. In a new groundbreaking study, Sentiment Feed put the top trending tokens that the crowd has FOMO on to the test by shorting. So everybody's FOMOing on it. Everybody's talking about it, shorting it, betting against it. The prices of the top 3 coins in terms of the discussion rate, this hits a 72.1% are successful trades. If there's a lot of talk of something in the market and everybody's hyping it up, those top 3, if you short it, 72% hit rate. So this is why you need to pay attention to what the narrative is versus what the data in the charts are telling you. Shout out everybody here. BitVoodoo, how you doing? Jake Mueller, Cade Pulliam, man, we got so many people in the chat that are just straight up OGs. I love each and every one of you. Man, I'm feeling good. We have so much we've been working on in the back end. I've been sleeping like an hour a night, but we have so much that we're bringing to the table for everybody. And I love you all. I hope you all are having fun. A lot more engagement in the Discord, in that open chat area, sharing charts. Also, if you don't know, now you know. Let me go ahead and pull this up right here. If you come over here, don't switch. If you come over here to the BitLab Discord, you come to this discovery zone. This is a free area. Act on the market. Come into this news round. Now we're bringing you what's the most important news that's in the space. Just check in right here. I just want to shout that out. Now let's get back over to the charts. We got John Connor in the house. Is it time for T2000? I don't know. Jeanette, what's up? Everybody in the house. Viewer activity, boom, everything good. All right, question right now, has everybody hit those like buttons? Have you hit that subscribe button? Do it for us right now. Okay, let's go ahead and look at some other things. I'm just going to kind of look around on some of the things here on my chart. Quant, how you doing? Man, I've been talking about this. It hit it twice. That $99 area that came down to 100, came down to 99. Look at this. I've been marking things out for you guys. I've been breaking this shit down. Girl, I'm just feeling good because the markets are moving. They're not boring anymore. And this information right here was what was telling me we're likely going to come down and test into this zone. And we also have this trend line right here that we can kind of look to for potentially coming into the zone, and these order blocks that are right down in here. And by the way, if you like these indicators, the BitLab volume right here that automatically prints these order blocks. That's these red and blue order blocks that show levels of interest and liquidity on the chart. You also get the volume profile of the visible range. That's what this is. It's an integrated VPVR. And we also have the BitLab intelligence here that's giving you signals and telling you where divergences are on the chart. In addition to showing these dynamic support right here and dynamic resistance zones and the weekly VWAP. And we got the BitLab trend fuel on the bottom where you have your momentum waves and your money waves, these blue and purple lines. And then also you have this orange line right here, which is the stochastics of strength. Are you getting ready to break down? Are you getting ready to shoot up? We got it all here. So head over to bitlabacademy.com. You can get it right here with indicators. You can join right here and get integrated with our indicators right here. You could still use give me 30, all one word, GIVEME 30. We'll give you 30% off your first month. Of course, you can also go over and get the BitLab Pro, which gives you all access to our premium Discord and the indicators and all the course content that we have, which we got a lot of course content. So get in there, sign up right here for the BitLab Pro. You can also use 30% off code for that. So let's continue on. I want to talk about some more things before we have to go. And look at this massive M formation. Is this ominous? Is this telling us some things are going to happen? Well, we did get a higher high here. We did get a higher high, but what do we see on the indicators here? Momentum waves. That's a pretty steep bearish divergence here. Look at that. See this? These are higher highs. The momentum indicators, lower highs. Could there be something in store? Well, we do see this is already coming down. Will this area hold 97? If we can't hold 97, we may end up, testing down into the low 90s. And if we can't hold that, things may be pretty bad for the market as a whole. But just pay attention. Just because we had a great impulse last week, don't just hold on to a bullish bias. We have so much chop that's likely going to happen between now and the halving. And it's right around the corner. We come over here to the halving progress. It's right around the corner. See this small little window? This is the same thing. This is how close we are to the next halving right here. And so we've seen this deviation up and down in the March 2020. We also saw this in the 2015, 2016 halving right here. Push up. We had a lot of consolidation and a push up right into it. This would be like akin to like January and February. January and February. What's happening January and February? Ask yourself, what's happening January and February? Most likely, Bitcoin ETFs will that's the most likely period of time that they get approved. Could they be approved before that? Sure. But the likelihood, everybody that does this professionally, people that have been in markets for 30 years, people that understand how this works, they're thinking this is going to happen right about the first month of the year, sometime in Q1, most likely January, February. So let's pay attention to that. Could this be akin to what we're going to happen? Let's see, the price was 432, and just before the halving, it pushed all the way up to 761. That's nearly 100% increase. Could we have some chop here? Could we have some chop here? Could we have some chop here and then push up right into the halving? Or could we have a sell-off here and then we have to be ready for all of it. Think about how hyped the emotions are right now for the potential ETFs. Everybody's ultra bullish. This is a perfect opportunity to wash the shit out of people. Pardon my language, but this is that opportunity to wash people out because they're so bullishly speculating. Now, I am as bullish as I can be, but I am managing my risk, and I'm going to take a $5,000 portfolio and I'm going to turn it into $50,000. And we have a new partner here at the channel, Fairdesk, and I'm going to be sharing that link with you all tomorrow. We are going to be trading together. And it's no KYC, no VPN, none of that. This is just, let's do this. Let's trade. Let's drive our portfolios into profits. So let's go ahead and scroll. I meant to say, chop, chop, chop. You know what? We need an axe emoji. And I was going to do a Mr. Burns emoji next because it looks so much like Gary Gensler, but maybe that'll be in a little while. Look at those lab coats, baby. All right. So much screaming. Am I loud? Check, check, check. Is it distorting? I wasn't able to check audio and stuff before I went live. All right, let's come. Okay, let's you're gonna get radio voice now. Okay, let's come over here. We're gonna come down. We're gonna look. How about we look at a little bit of Filecoin? Yeah, we're gonna look at a little bit of Filecoin here. And when we get Filecoin, what we're gonna want to do is we're gonna want to get a paintbrush. We're gonna do a little happy brush. A little happy brush right here. We have a trend line right there. Let's go ahead and draw this happy trend. Happy trend right there. We have a little bit of a broadening wedge. My Bob Ross, I don't know, maybe we got a little bit of a broadening wedge there. And we're coming into this right here. Sorry about that. I just thought that was funny. But look at where the price is right here. It's a secret. I don't want everybody to know about this. Look at this. It's finding itself right here, right on these previous highs. So if it's lost right here, the price action is lost. Shit, the price action's lost. It's not the end of the world. Likely will come right into this zone. Why? Because we have this previous high. We have all these lows. Now, you guys said I was screaming earlier, so you let me know. Do you prefer it when I talk quietly like this? You want that Barry White voice? Talk to me, baby. All right, hit those likes. If you're here to listen to Crypto and Crypto Talk with Kelly, hit the like button, subscribe, ding my bell. All right. Sorry about that. We got to do some humor here. Everybody takes this shit so seriously. There's so much data to share, but we can also be playful. We can also have humor. So Filecoin coming down. This is looking like it's going to test up a little bit right into this region. So right into here and likely come down. I would guess that this is likely going to test down into the 430 sort of range. If we can't hold that, then likely lower. You know what we got to look at? We got to look at that soul, baby. Let me see your soul glow. That's a good one right there. Now, rejected 46, the area I called this to you guys on the BitLab members stream in Discord. Called it, broke down, had the perfect pullback and formed a symmetrical triangle, and we broke out. Now, if you were wondering where this was going to go, you can measure this right here. Boom, look at that. Came up right to this level. Great target, right? Why? Because the price action gives you this data about where it's likely to go. And it doesn't mean it's not going to go past that or reject afterwards, but it went right there. You could have taken some profit right here. Pull back, reload, boom, push up again. Now what's happening here? Where are we at? Let's go ahead and zoom out. Let's look on the 3-day chart. And we're going to look at a 3-day chart here with Bob Ross here on the charts. We're going to do a happy brush. We're going to come right here. We see a lot of bullish momentum coming to the upside. And we see, what do we see? We see a doji candle spinning top. This is indicating a little bit of lack of clarity here. Now look at this. 1 hour left in 19 minutes. Now what does that mean? That means 1 hour left and 19 minutes for a 3-day candle, which is a medium macro time frame-ish candle. And we're getting a bit of a spinning top here. Is this a cool off period? Is this the time for Solana to break down? Do we need to pull a happy fib? We're going to come over here. We're going to pull a happy fib right here. We're going to do it from this breakout point right here to the top. We're going to just tap it into the top there. We're going to want to look for that happy fib right into, you know it, the golden pocket. So as we see the price action loses this level, is it losing this level or is it deciding to come down here and jump on the trampoline known as the golden pocket? The 2 lines right there that look like a trampoline. Not only that, we look at this larger, much longer time frame from here to here to here to here to here. And we see this extrapolated out It's right in line with where this golden pocket is. I could see. I don't mean it has to happen, but I can see the price action pulling back into this level right here, the $39 level. It seems like it's not even possible, but if you're looking at a 3-minute chart, this looks possible. People think when you look at a larger time frame chart, the lines and trend lines and all this don't matter. They do. Now, this also could pull back right in here. This would be a very bullish level right in where this 382 is and this previous high, this 46 level. Now, for me, what I would do is allow price to potentially come to this area and maybe either decide on the larger time frame, like if you're looking at the weekly, the 3-day, the daily. Let's see, the weekly is starting to get overheated. The 3-day, it's overheated. See this? Overheated, trying to roll over. We see the daily. Okay, we got some bearish divergence here on the stochastics. Why? Because we see these highs getting lower. Now, we did break out a little bit there, but we're seeing signs, potential washout in both directions. If I had to guess, this may even have a little bit of a false breakout back up like this and then continue down. But if we cannot break the level we're at now, I'm watching $46 is my next level to the downside. And if we lose that, then more likely than not coming down here into the low 40s. That's what I'm seeing. That's what I'm feeling. That's how it is. So hope everybody's feeling good. Hope you like these evening streams. They're going to be slightly different times because I have different stuff going on in the evenings throughout the week, but we're going to be doing actual trading here on this evening stream and sometimes on the weekends. Throw a 1 in chat if you want to see that. Throw a 16 random number. Throw a 16. You have to spell it out. Don't type it. You have to type out 16 in the chat if you want to take a portfolio of, if you want to see me trade $5,000 to $50,000. We're going to do it conservatively. I'm not going to be super aggressive because I know people are following it, but we're going to do this. And this is not financial advice. This is just strategy advice. You're welcome to follow along, but every decision you make is your decision to make. I'm showing you what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. I love each and every one of you. I appreciate you. Now, before we go, I want to see each and every one of you. If you're a member, drop 3 of your favorite emojis in the chat right now. If you're not a member, what are you doing? Join. And everybody else, I just love you all. I appreciate you. We'll be back at the regular time tomorrow, 9:45 in the morning Eastern time. I love you guys. So before I go, I just want each and every one of you, make sure you can pull that happy fib. And with that, adios, muchachos. Head over to Frankie Candles. I think he should be going live. But with that, hit the subscribe button, hit that like button, and I'll see you later. Adios. Adios, muchachos. Thank you for coming. Go and pull that happy fib again. Later, suckers.